wabarakatuh. How are you guys? We are students from Ayat, Ahkam student. In this video, we will conduct a survey and we will interview some students about the topic Adabul Julus wal Lamas Bainal Ajnabiyain, the manners of sitting and touching or handshaking between male and female. So, in Islam, we have manners when we sitting between opposite genders, such as sit far apart, such as different tables, covering aura, talking according to the topics, and sit in a public place, not in a hidden place, private place, or anywhere that is quiet. So, in this video, we will interview the students how far they are understanding of the topic given. So, because as university students, we sometimes have to sit between opposite gender because we have society meetings, right, for study and others. So let us interview them.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. May I ask you some question?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what is the meaning of non-mahram?
Yes, the meaning of non-mahram, I think, like whoever a man can marry opposite gender, she or he is non-mahram for his opposite
Do you have any example?
gender. Yes, like in your relatives, I can say.
Okay.
Your cousin, your uncle's daughter,
Okay.
she is non-mahram for you. Yes, because you can marry her.
Okay.
It's
Do you
permissible.
often sit with non-mahram while you eat from your canteen or you do assignment with your friends?
Yeah, while doing assignment, yes, we can sit and we can do study circle, study grouping, yes. But while eating in the restaurant, no, I don't prefer this.
Do you know what is the ruling of sitting between men and women?
Yes, I know one or two. Like while you sit, you should be maintain adequate manner. You should be maintaining hijab, or you shouldn't be so close, and you should not do handshaking or something like that. And also, like, you shouldn't be sit in isolated place, like private place. And yeah, place like this, you can sit. Far I know,
Okay.
like this.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How are you, brother?
I'm fine, thank you.
What's your name?
My name is Iza Ashraf.
Which department you are
I'm
studying
from
here?
Department of ICT.
I see. Okay. May I ask you some questions?
Yes, okay.
My first question is, what is your perception sitting with men and women at a public place?
My perception sitting between men and women in public place is, I think it is haram because if the man and woman do something not right, like hold hand or sit too close together, it will make people think it's can make shahwah, and also people will fitnah them.
As you can see, many students, they are sitting at a public place for they are doing assignment or making slides. Or what do you think? What they should do?
I think it's okay if they just in group. I think in group, or they just do assignment, like just not sit so close together, like far away. I think it's okay. In public place, it's okay, I think.
Public place. I have one more question. Do you know what is the ruling of shaking hands between men and women?
shaking hand between man and woman. If there is no mahram, I think it's haram. But if there is mahram, it's okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Waalaikumsalam.
You are from which kuliah?
And in Islamic banking and finance.
Okay. The first question is, do you know the meaning of non-mahram?
Yeah.
Second, do you often sit with non-mahram during eating or study or meeting?
No.
No. Do you ever hear the law, any hukum, or the manner, adab of sitting between opposite gender?
Not in details.
Not in details. Okay. Do you know what is the hukum sitting between opposite gender at a public place?
I do not know.
And 5, what is the hukum sitting between opposite gender at the private or hidden place?
I do not know.
And 6, what is the ruling and the hukum of shaking hands between males and females?
That is haram.
Haram. And last, does Islam forbid men from touching a woman?
Yes. For
That's all.
non-mahram.
From non-mahram. That's all.
Now I will ask you some question about our topic. The first question is, do you know the meaning of non-mahram?
No.
Okay. The next question, do you often sit with non-mahram during eating, study and meeting?
No.
The third, do you ever heard the law or hukum and manner adab of sitting between opposite gender?
Yeah.
Okay. The next question is, what is the ruling or hukum sitting between opposite gender at the public place?
I'm not sure specifically.
The next question is, what is the ruling or hukum sitting between opposite gender at the private or hidden place?
In Islamic perspective, we know the rules and regulation what we have in the Quran, but
How are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah.
What is your name?
My name is Kabir Hussain.
You from which department?
I'm from Economics Department.
Okay. So you have to do many assignment or slide with your female friends at a class or at a public place. So may I ask you, do you sit with your female friends for doing assignment or making slide?
Actually, not all time, of course, but sometimes I have to sit.
So what is your perception sitting between men and women at a public place?
I think it's prohibited, but in case of necessary, when like for us, we have to do assignment or some project, we can sit, but we have to keep the proper distance, proper aura, and modesty, so that there is no shaitanic temptation.
But as we can see, many students they are sitting at a public place. So what should they do?
I think for me, I think they should not sit unnecessarily. But if there is necessary, they should keep proper distance so that there is no shaitan provocation.
Okay, I have one more question.
Sure.
Do you know what is the rulings shaking hands between men and women?
I think it's prohibited, as I know, but you can shake hand only with those who are not permitted to marry. Like my too old grandmother, I can shake hand with her, and my small infant, like my nephew or niece, I can shake hand.
All women and children they can
Yeah,
shake.
the infant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Now I will ask some question about our topic. Okay, brother. The first question is, do you know the meaning of non-mahram?
Yeah, I do.
Second question, do you often sit with non-mahram during eating, study and meeting?
No. I sit with them when it's really important.
Do you ever heard the law or hukum and manner or adab of sitting between opposite gender?
I think so.
Okay, the next question is, what is the rule or hukum sitting between opposite gender at a public place?
At public place.
Yes.
I don't think there's a problem with that.
Okay. So the next question, what is the ruling or hukum sitting between opposite gender at the private or hidden place?
Haram.
Okay. So the next question, what is the ruling of shaking hand between male and females?
Haram.
Okay, the last question, does Islam forbid men from touching a non-mahram, man or woman?
Non-mahram.
Does Islam forbid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, brother.
Alright.
This only this question. So thank you again to take your time. Okay.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
Madam, we are from course at Al-Ahkam, and we are going to conduct one survey and video. That's why we would like to interview you. So we will ask 3 questions regarding co-education and mixing between gender. The first question, what is the Islamic approach of co-education? And can male and female or men and women can study in the same university or not?
If you're asking about Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, if you're asking about opinion, you're asking about my opinion,
Yeah.
right? I think it shouldn't be a problem for a man and woman to study in the same university, and why not? I think in Islamic civilization, in our history, we also have women and men studying, educated, but of course traditional way of education was in the mosque, halaqa. But of course we know that the sitting arrangement was not the same. There are partition between man and woman, so they sitting together. They're sitting, but in different places. There are partition for men and for women, but no problem to have a woman and man studying in the same university.
Okay, thank you. Second question, we would like to ask that what is the ruling of sitting between men and women together at a public place or the private place?
Yes, sitting rulings, between a man and woman in public and private place. I think firstly, of course, when speaking about man and woman sitting together, we maybe refer to strangers or not from the family or the relatives.
Yeah.
So if there is no relationship, family relationship, that will be the point, right?
Yeah, it's more specifically for the students, like in our university.
More to the students in the university. Of course, they can sit in the public, and between man and woman, I think we should we should have a certain distance between a man and woman. We cannot be too close, because this is not the culture. For what reason to be close, right? We can sit together very close if we have a blood relationship, husband and wife, or brothers and sisters, no problem. In the private place or private space, in Islamic tradition, I think in Sharia we should maintain, cannot be only one woman and one man in a room. We must have someone, make 3. So we cannot sitting only 2. So we must have a 3. That's the ruling of the Sharia, at least in mazhabs. Yeah.
Thank you. The third is we would like to ask what is the ruling of shaking hands between male and female or men and women?
As far as my understanding, shaking hands is not common in Muslim culture. In Malaysia, it is not common to shake hand between man and woman of no blood relationship. And in Mazhab al-Shafi'i, it is, of course, it is haram to. I think, in Mazhab Shafi'i, if I'm not mistaken, it is not permissible shaking hands for the strangers between man and woman, and the act itself is not an Islamic culture. That's my understanding.
Finally, to summarize, we'd like to ask for some advice or suggestions. That as we are in a studying mixed university, co-education, so when we do assignments or we need to meet with the opposite gender friends, so what should be our manner to meet with them?
Yes, I think no problem. Of course, it's no problem at all to have brothers and sisters working together for their assignments. And we have university has many places, public places. We have a library and have mosques, but perhaps mosque is not used for discussion. Library can, and even library have discussion rooms, and also brothers and sisters, they also can meet at the canteen. In the canteen, they can discuss, and of
In a
course,
group, not
yes,
like
a group.
one
It's
and
not
one.
only one. Yeah, in a group, there shouldn't be a problem. And as a Muslim, we should maintain, moral principles and the rules of being together between man and woman, which is not our immediate brother and sister.
Okay, thank you very much for
Welcome.
your interview. Just
Okay, welcome. And thank you for interviewing me. Inshallah, all the best for you, for your subject. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So as far as we interviewed a lot of students and one of our respected lecturer to discuss on the topic the adabul julus wal lams bain al ajnibayni fi talabat al jamia. So as far as we can summarize on this topic, and as far as hear from the students and the lecture, so we would like to get a summary. Actually, in Islam, the friendly relationship with man and woman, it is not completely haram, but Islamically, there should have an reason and intention. It is not like very open you can meet, and there are some kind of code of conduct, so we have to follow this. So now I will try to discuss on the code of conduct that we should be maintained to discuss or to meet with opposite gender or opposite sex. Firstly, we have to be sincere in our interactions. So if it is needed to meet with opposite gender because of our assignments or because of our presentation or any kind of group meetings, we should have our real intention that why we are going to meet, if it is purposeful or not. So if it is necessary or purposeful, then we can meet. And secondly, we have to make sure our interactions are purposeful and professional. So when it is needed and we are sitting together for an assignment or a presentation or any kind of group meeting, so we should be very purposeful, and whatever is needed to talk, we should talk on that only, not like simply gossiping or many unnecessary things. And we have to be professional, and professional means when we meet, for example, when we meet one of our elder, like teachers or any of our elder relatives, so how do we talk? We talk very in a professional way, though we have very good relationship, but still we don't go beyond our professional talking, what is necessary. So third is we have to cover our aura. It is for both. When we are meeting, we should be very careful about our aura. Aura means for women, we know that they should be covered their necks to the feet, and for us also we have to cover our aura, not be too much expressive like this. Fourth is lower our gaze. So when we are meeting together, we should maintain our Allah's command. Allah says, قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُضْنَ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِنَّ وَيَحْفَظْنَ فُرُوجَهُنَّ. So we have to lower our gazes. Fifth is we have to keep it in public. So we cannot sit like in a room and like in a very isolated area or very private area between one and one. So we have to keep it in public, and we cannot sit like private one on one. It should be a group, and if it is not even a group, so then we have to be in public like canteen or open area where there is no possibility to be fallen in the trap of shaitan. Sixth, we have to be careful about our reputation. Reputations mean as a student or as whatever I am, I have a reputation in the society, so I have to be careful about my reputation so that people don't misunderstand me, that I am doing something that doesn't go with my reputation and with my normal career. Seventh is no touching. That is more important and likely more haram thing than maybe when we talk about the friendly relationship with brothers, maybe we touch sometimes and very friendly, but with the sister it is completely haram. So even for friendly and with any kind of intention, we can say that I don't have any bad intention, but still it is haram to touch any sisters. So 8 is we have to speak in a very decent manner. So that is like we have to respect in our speaking whenever we are speaking with sisters or with our classmate, groupmates. So we have to speak in very decent manner, respectful manner. We should not, talk very unnecessary things and slangs and many things. So if we can maintain this code of conduct, we can sit or we can meet with our groupmates. We can do assignments, we can do a project or any kind of equipment. That won't be a problem, and that will be allowed in Islam. Second is shaking hands with women. Majority of scholars, or not majority, there is no doubt that shaking hands with a woman is haram. It is not allowed in Islam. But some scholars like Shaykh Al-Fardawi and Shaykh Min Baya, they have said that if the woman is like very older, like she doesn't have any kind of desire, then it should be allowed to shake hands with that kind of woman. But still it is their, the opinions, it is okay to allow that kind of woman to handshakes. But when if we live in such society when maybe some sisters is trying to shake hands with me, or in some society they think it is like their culture to shaking hands, so in that case you have to reject it very politely, not to be that arrogant. We have to maybe simply ignore it by saying something that it is not allowed in my religion, or it is not good for me to shake hands with you. So that is actually we can summarize from our project. May Allah help us, may Allah give us hidayah, inshallah.